Story behind Mama's house renovations. Good rising, family. Hello, my name is Joe Brown, aka Black Feniks, and I'm the owner of HogOn Welding and the founder of HogOn Welding University. And right now, I am inside of my mom's house. I've been renovating it. I'm not completely done, but I say I'm like 90% done now. And a few people asked me about the process, why I jumped on it, got started, how long my mom been gone. So I want to kind of give you some updates and stuff on what's been going on and kind of what happened. And since this is Black History Month, I think this is a good story to tell because we deal with these type of things in our Black communities, especially in rural areas, dealing with family members. There's always, man, dealing with family members, sometimes things can get sticky. Sometimes things can get mean and evil. Sometimes things can get despiteful. And it's a reality. And especially when it comes to money or ownership of things. And I wanted to talk to you about my mom's house. But before I talk to you about it, I want to give you some updates on a few things. And I want to give you not only just some updates, but I want to take you back. So while I was in prison, at first I was sentenced to having to do 20 years flat. Well, my mom knew that if it was an opportunity for me to get a time cut or get some of my time cut off, she was willing to do anything it took. Good rising, family. Good rising. Yes, yes, you better believe it. You got to stay focused. And it's crazy to say that because my mom used to have that on front of her vehicle. Stay focused. I used to tell her that all the time. She used to tell me that, just stay focused, baby. And during that time, I had an opportunity to try to, get a time cut from the time that I was facing. And my mom was willing to do whatever it took. She wasn't financially stable, but my mom had been fighting her lawsuit from hurting herself on the job. She hurt herself being a CNA. So she ended up getting a little finances from that later on. And then my grandfather passed. Well, once my grandfather passed, my mom and my dad inherited my grandfather's house and the land beside it, and they was able to build a house. And they owned the house. And my mom was always talking about, she want to own a house. She want to own a house. And so, she was able to buy this home, own this home, and it was in a town called Arkansas City at the time. And my mom was proud of her home. But she was also, wanting her baby home. And I believe that during this time, I probably, my grandfather had passed. I remember going to the funeral. This was like 2001 when my grandfather passed. Because that was the first time I had been home since 96, and I came home on a furlough. A lot of my family was there, cousins, man. I'm not going to lie, the little time I had there it felt so good. And it wasn't real sad, but it was. Seeing me leave, seeing, me get back into the police car, being transferred back to prison. And I got to give a shout out to Larry Allen, who's about to retire now as a sheriff in McGee. He actually came down, gave my parents an affordable price. Everybody was trying to charge ridiculous numbers. And he was like, hey, if I'm off that day, I go down there, pick him up and bring him to the funeral. He knew how important my grandfather was, how my family was. And he was like, hey, as long as y'all don't run off, he don't run off, I ain't got no problem. So, I didn't run off. And Larry Allen did that. So salute to him. He's actually a sheriff now in McGee who's about to retire. Sheriff in D.C. County Sheriff, and he's about to retire now, I believe. And like I say, that gentleman right there really reached out to me in that hard time. But that home that my mom had in Arkansas City, when we was fighting the court, trying to figure out the situation on, getting time less and getting a lawyer for clemency, we was doing a few different things, trying to see if it was an opportunity for me not to do all the time. Now, I'm going to be honest, family. I'm not saying that I didn't do the crime. I was young. I was an adolescent, guilty as charged. But the time they gave me was a little excessive for what happened. You know what I mean? And so we was trying to get it more on a reasonable scale, and I ended up doing 10 calendars instead of doing 20. But my mom's house burnt down in Arkansas City. And when that house caught on fire or whatever happened, my mom used some of that money instead of going to get her a new home at the, time. She used some of that money to help me work on that case and pay the lawyer and get some situations done. And then she ended up getting blessed to buy this home. And the rest of the money, she was able to buy this home cash. And I think they paid up a few things. They was able to move in. So, everything ended up working out. But she made a big sacrifice for me. And if it wasn't for the sacrifice she made, you know, you're just now, you won't even be hearing, like the traction that I'm making now, I wouldn't be able to make because I still would have been, I just now been getting out, you know what I mean? Because so if you think if I got out in '06, I would actually just be getting out in 2016. 2016, if I was just getting out, I wouldn't have been able to make the traction that I'm making now, as far as the work experience, the traveling, the mobile welding, the shop welding, the experience I've had with business, with relationships. Like a lot of things would have been, I just now be getting into the process, but thank God I was able to get out in '06. So, it kind of fast tracked me some to, to be able to do more. So when my mom passed in 2012, actually, she passed a year because I got out in 2006. 5 years later, I went back to prison on the technicality for counterfeit money. And family, I went down for $30. I got to tell you the story complete because it was just outrunning. $30 of counterfeit that was in my money that the police went through all of my stuff. I didn't have none, but the lady in the gas station said part of my money was counterfeit. I didn't even know. They come out there, searched all my stuff, seen I was good because she called the police while I was, still getting my gas. It needed to say I bonded out. I'm thinking this situation is going to be nothing. And I'm like, man, this is nothing. Well, come to find out, they wanted to know where I'm from. They was trying to hold it over my head. I'm a felon. So if I didn't exactly, what the source was, I had to go down. So I went down, for 10 months. And when I got out, for that 10 months, when I got out, it was in 2011. And, doing that whole process, my mom was like, man, it was hurt because I was telling her I heard I was knowing I went back for $30 after all that time. And she was like, I know it's ironic, but God got a purpose. You know what I mean? Things was happening. You was probably moving too fast. It could have been something else. So let's just be humble, do this little bit and come on home. And I did. And she was able to witness me coming home twice. From after doing the 10 and then staying out for 5 and then going back for 10 months. It was just outrunning. But when I got out, I remember her telling me, take some time off. She wanted me to come up here, to her house or down here to her house. And I remember, just trying to figure things out at the time. I even come down here and visit her for a minute. And probably like a week, I spent some time with her and it was cool, just resting, talking to her, catching up. And I remember, when she passed in 2012, my mom has 2 kids, me and my sister. And my sister is like 3.5 years, almost 4 years younger than me. And my sister was married at the time with 4 kids by her husband. So naturally, and she was staying in the house at the time. I don't know, was she staying in the house with my mom? No, I don't know if she was staying in the house with my mom at the time or not. I can't remember. But I felt like what was understood didn't need to be explained. She had 4 kids. She had a husband. They had a family. This is the best thing to do. Take care of the house. Utilize the house. You ain't got no bills. You just got the regular bills. You can get some money up. Get yourself together. This and this. I thought it was a good thing. I was doing a lot of traveling, family, and I actually had moved out to Feniks, where I was in. At that time, I believe I was in Fayetteville. And then later I was in Feniks. You know what I mean? Once I found out about everything, she moved She had moved for a while, maybe a few months. So I hit her up and I was just asking her, what's going on with the house? What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this, doing that. And I was like, well, I'm in an opportunity. I'm in a situation where I can actually come down there and fix the house up. I'm like, me and my wife, we're going to come down there and get a couple things done and get things done. And we're going to come down there and live in it for a while. My sister, it hurt me, but my sister had the audacity to tell me that, well, mom didn't leave the house to you. She left the house to me. And just by her saying that, family, it hurt me so bad that I didn't do no research. I didn't go check no paperwork. I didn't do none of that. I just said, okay. And I cut myself off from everybody for a few years. So while I was in Feniks, really wasn't speaking to my sister at all. And my dad, I kind of pushed everybody off. I kind of felt like once my mom died, it was done, and then I was out there trying to find myself, trying to find, my purpose, trying to come up with a better life, just trying to make my way. So I had to kind of just let it all go. And needless to say, the house stayed vacant for 3 years. I didn't know it was vacant for that long, but once I found out it was vacant for 3 years, someone contacted me and was like, hey man, what's going on with your mom's house? I'm like, well, it wasn't, from what I was told, it wasn't left to me. So, I just kind of pushed off, and it was like, nah, I know your mom. Ain't no way she did that. I know her. Ain't no way. You know what I mean? So they encouraged me because of the way it was looking. Y'all was overgrossing, man. It might be getting some fines. You don't want the taxes to get behind and somebody to just get it for a little bit of nothing after all of the hard work your mom put in. So the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, I'm going to go on and do something. And at this time, family, I had just left Oklahoma City and I was entering Georgia. So I'm just fresh into Georgia. And I was like, okay, I'm going to figure out what's going on, get my money right, and see what direction I need to go in. So once I got the paperwork and found out that the paperwork was legit, she wasn't the owner of the house, you know what I'm saying? Mama made sure that, that both of us was on the paperwork and that couldn't nothing be done. I even found out that a couple people was trying to rent it and even talk to her about it, but she couldn't make no move without me. And it really would have been sticky. So she just let the house go down. And it hurt me, family, you know what I mean? Like I say, for years, I didn't talk to my sister. And then now we have had a conversation. And I forgive her, you know what I mean? But I can't tell you that I wasn't hurt. And she had her own reasons. I don't know if it's personal reasons going through with her husband and stuff going on, but still it wasn't no reason to throw that type of stone, I felt, and just let mama's house go down. And she just left and went and started paying rent somewhere, saying there wasn't no opportunities here, and just let the house go. I'm like, out of all the hard work mama did, to me it was just like, knowing that mom passed in the house, to me, I felt like, man, that's like pissing on my mama's grave. You know what I mean? Then I come in the house and I see feces on the floor, and you seen how terrible the house was for those who seen the first video when I first made it here. Then I seen a picture of my mom on the floor, family. Man, that hurt me. That did something to me, man. It made me angry. It made me wanna, it hurt me. It hurt me. It brought tears to my eyes because after all of the things my mom sacrificed, it shouldn't have been like this. You know what I mean? It shouldn't have been like this. And at the time I tried to reach out and make an offer to help. This was during the time, I was good financially, and then the cost of living, things was a lot cheaper. This before the inflation hit, the pandemic hit. This before all of these things happened where the prices wasn't what they was. And you got to think, I started this year. I actually started working on the house in April when I first came down and started with the tree construction and cleaning up the yard and cleaning out the house. Things that started going up when I started buying materials: sheetrock, plywood, paint, nails. Everything. It takes a whole lot to actually make something happen. But at that one time, things was a little bit more expensive. Less expensive. And now it's like things almost double, triple in some areas. And like I say, that really hurt me, but that's the reason why I really came down. Once I was able to get everything in line, I was like, I'm finna save my mom's house. Mom didn't give up on me. Part of me being out this long was because of my mom. So how could I allow something she worked hard for, something she sacrificed, her health, or her sleep, so that me and my sister can have something, and then it was just left like that. So it hurt me, but truth be told, things happen, family. You know what I mean, and those are some of the things that we have to embrace with dealing with family. And like I say, to this day, I don't really know what the motive was behind it, but it is what it is. You know what I mean. Most people will say what they'll do, but when it really comes down to it, you got to actually do something. It takes more than just talking about it. It takes more than just getting said no. I had a lot of people tell me no. You're going to get a lot of people to tell you no. Oh, this can't be done. Well, you do it yourself. Figure it out. Yeah, it might can't be done over here, but it can be done over there. I remember, for those who are familiar with the movie Django, it always was an epic scene in there when he went up to him and said he wanted to buy one of the slave girls there, and he said, "Nah, you can't do that here." And he said, "Well, I got 5,000 reasons, why maybe you can change your mind." And the man totally looked at him and said, "Well, come on in and have yourself something cool to drink." People are trip. Well, I'm telling you, if the number right and you network with the right people, you can actually make things happen. And I never forget that epic scene in Django, because it just motivated me to know that. And actually, that's a motivational movie for me. When I'm feeling down and low about America, when it beats me down, I go watch Django and get my spirits back right. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, hey, somebody can win. You know what I'm saying? And so, going through this process, man, it's been a little hurtful due to, what happened with my mom. But like I say, she left the house. She did a big sacrifice to actually own the home. This is actually in a nice area, of the city. At one time, blacks didn't even stay on this side. And it's actually maybe one, two, maybe 3 blocks down. I can walk out the door and see the elementary school. So I think it's from K to 6th grade, I believe. So this most definitely can be some primary property, and I didn't want it. I didn't want nobody to get it on a technicality. You know what I mean? I was like, if I had to come down here and get things going myself, which I did first, paying contractors, got some things done, people overcharged and not doing what they supposed to be doing. Man, it was just a headache. And then, you spending your money. I'm coming down. Like, family, you got to think, I was physically driving down from Georgia every 2 to 3 weeks. I was here doing something, making sure something was done, driving back, making sure that's done. So I'm spending money coming and going. Man, it's been a real struggle, but I knew that it was all going to come together. And then, we kind of had to move into it a little earlier than we wanted to. Actually, we wanted to kind of move into it around, this time, about tax time. This time, we figured it'd have been ready. Everything would have been done. And if things would have worked out that way, I could have my roof done. 'Cause that's going to be one of the main things, my roof, and getting my landscaping done. But the roof, most definitely, to the house anyway, the roof, and then the trim paint, and that's it for the outside. And some yard work I got to do. But as far as that, my roof going to be one thing, and that's going to be an expense. But at first, it wasn't going to be as expensive, but I had to save it to do some inside things. I had to fix some patches on the roof. I had to do some inside sheetrock, room repairs. And then, like I say, I still got a few things to do, but man, it is most definitely a 360 from what it was, you know what I mean, when I first got started. And then my mom passed in the house too, you know what I mean? So it's more than just a home. To me, it's like a shrine, you know what I mean? It's not a grave. It's more than, it's just a sacred place to me. And since I've been here, I can't tell you that while I'm here, I don't feel frustrated. Sometimes dealing with people, dealing with trying to get things done. But in the house, I got peace, you know what I mean? And to know that I was able to come back and throw my resources in there, into the house to get it going. So that way my kids and grandkids can have a place. And as long as I'm here, I can have a roof over my head. And even though I travel, I can always have something. And it's a blessing, but things happen and misunderstandings with dealing with family. So that's why I like to say that your survival is actually based on what you can endure sometimes. Sometimes things are going to be hard, and your hardest things are going to come from family and from friends. Family is going to be from people. My hardest struggles in life has been dealing with people that I love, people that I would have laid my life down for, who left me out in the cold, literally. You know what I mean? So you learn things over time, and sometimes if you're not careful, family, if we're not careful, we can get bitter. And that's why I always like to say get better and not bitter, because certain things people do, certain actions, if you're not careful, you can get bitter. I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with getting angry, but don't go to sleep on it. Don't let it become, don't let it grow into bitterness. Because then it can hurt you in many ways, your health, your wealth, you know what I mean? A lot of different ways. And so, doing this renovation, I had to give shout outs for everybody. I have people who have helped me out on donations, so salute to all those who have helped me out on the situation. You know what I mean? They know what I was spending. Like, I just want to help out, you know what I mean? So everything I have done, I have threw it into the house, not only just my time, but also my resources. You know what I mean? I traded things, I have sold things, I have bought things, you know what I mean? I had made it happen, man. You know what I mean? I figured however way I can do it, my goal was to get it livable, you know what I mean? So I had to completely do a lot, new water heaters. I'm making it energy sufficient, so I had to change things around, and I'm still working on things. So when it's all said and done, it's going to be a nice, cozy home. I think this home is around, I believe it's around 1,100 square feet or so. Yeah, maybe a little. It's a little over 1,100 square feet. So it's a nice single family home, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, and I had the carport, but I turned it into a garage, so that way I can do, kill several birds in one stone while I'm down here. Have materials at the time, then do my own work in fabrication. Also teach classes. You have to utilize what you got. And I knew I was going to be in a small area where down here the good old boy system is in full effect. So it's about who you know. And sometimes, I'm not, me personally, I'm not with kissing nobody, but you know what I mean. I would rather just go pay my way, or say who I got to talk to. How much this gonna be? Let me go and just get my stuff out the way. I ain't with kissing nobody, but for no position. I'm no or brown nose, and that's family, nobody. So, once I see what's going on, I just say, okay, I just got to go pay my way, or I have to sit in disguise in. And that's one thing I realized, family. Sometimes, man, being an African American in America, we got hindrances just from our parents, just from seeing us. You know what I mean? Just we're judged, off the top. You know what I mean? And what's so ironic is they'll judge us from certain things about our culture that they feel like we shouldn't express. We shouldn't, well, why you do that? Well, why you do what you do? You know what I mean? I think that if we don't have no issue with seeing other cultures come over and express their cultures with their food, with their clothing, then why should you have an issue with us? Because to me, subconsciously in America, I feel, they still think we're their slaves subconsciously. You know what I mean? Because it's actions always speak louder than words, and if you do certain things, you're gonna get judgment. Certain names. Well, you got that name. You can't. LaQuisha just don't work right. You should just do Shauna. You know what I'm saying? Or something simple. You know what I'm saying? Crystal. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. It's crazy how America has put us against our own. But that was the design though. If you can break a people down by causing them to fight one another with family, with possessions and not coming together, with with spending their resources and outside sources besides them coming together and say, hey, They charging all us this, why we all can't come together and do this. That's what blows my mind, even with the football league, or basketball. Different people say they don't want to do this and that, but then they get this money and they don't try to build nothing independently. They're not willing to make any sacrifices, build our own league, have our own channels. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. But we have to break the mentality of thinking that, somebody's gonna feed us. So, talking about my mom's house, the true story behind it is it got me out of prison 10 years early. What my mom did. My mom made a big sacrifice. So instead of me doing 20 years family, I ended up doing 10 years. So I'm humble. And that's why it means so much to me. That's why I said that I was willing to put my blood, sweat, and tears behind this project. I was willing to literally die behind this house. You know what I mean? Like, you're not finna disrespect this house. You know what I mean? That's how much it mean, because not only did my mom pass here, I know the sacrifice she made. So it's that important to me. So I know I had to come down here and do it. And I had people say, man, you gonna fix it up and rent it out? Is you crazy? Man, nah. Not all the blood, sweat, and tears. Then I just say this is a shrine to me. This is a sacred place. You know what I mean? So I want to make it for people. You know what I mean? When my family come down, they can come down and come see us. You know what I mean? We can have gatherings in the backyard, see the grandbabies, see the kids. See the nieces, nephews, things like that. Like, I want to make it a place of peace, because mom was always that place where everybody came. Majority everybody knew my mom. They called her Cat. Everybody knew my mom as the place to go over, and she's not gonna judge it. She's gonna let you be you. Now she's gonna tell you about yourself. If you come down wrong, my mom didn't have no issue with speaking her mind, and everybody knew it. You know what I mean? And I can't say I got that big for my mom, but now seeing everything, it's just humbling. Most definitely. Like I say, I'm focused and I'm humble, but I know, that God most definitely guided me with this situation. He's guiding me, you know what I mean? Because things could have been a lot worse than what they was. I think I caught the house right in time. A couple friends of mine actually helped out, that really helped me open up some doors. So, I'm humble. I'm humble to be here now. Like I say, it's not complete, but it's most definitely livable now. You know what I mean? And when I first came in, it really wasn't livable. I had to get a water heater, so I had to go, to my cousin's house and take showers. You know what I mean? And then, I had to get the water working to get this work, man. It was just so much going on, but we was like, forget it. We're going to sleep on the mattress on the floor, sleep on a blow-up mattress. So we got a blow-up mattress and got some things and say, hey, let's finish the house. And every day, I woke up putting in this, doing this, cutting this in, sheetrocking this, mudding this, painting that. And, like I say, we're not completely done, but she's looking good, family. And I'm happy that I was just able to do it. So to me, honestly, with my life, being able to restore this, being able to put my money, my time, the skills I have learned over time, networking, all of the above, it has been a blessing, just to do it. You know what I mean? Because I know later my kids and their kids would realize and go back and see the archives of what I did and how I did it, how I didn't give up, and all the challenges I faced, and just being open and not ashamed. I think sometimes we have to be naked and not ashamed. We have to just let things be what they are, not over exaggerating, not putting extra emphasis on it, but just saying, hey, life is like this, and sometimes you're gonna go through some things and you're gonna have to make a choice. Yes, attitude is everything, family. Attitude is everything. And that's what I had to realize with dealing with this house. I couldn't allow it to get me bitter. I had to let it get me better. So, working on this house, everything I have done and it's up to this point, to me, it has been therapy. Sometimes it gets frustrating, family. Sometimes it gets overwhelming. You know how things go. But when it's all said and done, me and my wife was talking about it, the other, last week. We was like, man, look at where we started. Look at where we at. And sometimes when you stop, you get so focused on, man, let me get this done. Let me get this done. and you'll make it to a point, and that's why you got the rear view mirror sometimes. It's small, because we got to stay focused on where you're going, but sometimes it's good to look back, at how much traction you done made, how far you done came. You know what I mean? So that's the blessing. You know what I mean? Yeah, having that tunnel vision. You know what I mean? And then you have to sit back and be like, okay, look how far I done came, though. You know what I mean? So this morning, like I said, I just wanted to talk to you about that. I thought that, a few people asked me just about, the process so far. But I wanted to document this because I wanted my kids to know the sacrifice, and I don't want my kids to be bickering over money. I don't want my kids to fall out about anything. I want them to always be tight. And my oldest daughter is actually like the mom, you know what I mean? She's like the big sister, big mom over me. My oldest daughter, you know what I mean? She's 10 years older than my second child, and then 15 or so older than my next one. So she's she's the mama figure, and I really feel that she's gonna do good, like she's doing good. And I think over time, as she's developing into a queen, you know, if anything ever happened to me, I don't worry about them. You know what I mean? And my goal is to also prepare something for them. So if they ain't got nothing else, and my daughter was actually raised in this house, so she's familiar with this house, my oldest daughter. So it means something to her too, because grandma was everything to her. At one time, she didn't know her mom was her mom, but her mom came actually to get her, because when she was born, a little after, after she got to moving around some, her mom brought her down, and she stayed with my mom for a while. So when her mom was actually wanting to come and get her, she didn't know who she was. She like, man, who you let me go with this stranger? She didn't like it, boy. She fought it. And because all she knew was my mom, you know what I mean? But, needless to say, I believe that this house is going to be a place of peace, like a tranquility, for my family. Like I say, nieces, nephews, cousins, for people to come over, and just hang out. My mom was a cool person, so I want to get things going, and, to make her proud with me surviving prison and getting out and starting a family was one thing, but to save something that was valuable to her, it was, it was almost like, like one of those last dying acts you can do, you know what I mean? Like one of those great bucket lists. So doing this was like one of my biggest bucket lists to restore, what she invested in. That, it means a lot to me, and it meant a lot to her. So regardless of what happened with family, sometimes we have to find a way to overcome things. And even when networking, because I want to say this, you know what I mean? Sometimes there's more than one way to accomplish things. So just because you go to one place and somebody tells you no, doesn't mean you can't go somewhere else and they tell you yes. You just like the old scriptures say, if you keep knocking on the door, eventually someone gonna come to the door. But you got to be that hungry. You got to be that persistent. You got to be that no nerve wrecking to somebody. Like, man, let me go out here and help this person, man. They ain't giving up. You know what I'm saying? So working in this house, man, has been a blessing. And one thing I have noticed, you get more help, family. And I want to just say this for the record. You get more help by just jumping out there, initiating things on your own. Just jump out there and just make it happen. You got a problem? Okay, just start fixing it. Just start working on it. You might don't even know what you're doing, but you're trying to figure it out because you got a problem. And I promise you, someone will see you working on it like, man, let me help him out. He is trying. Someone would be able to stop on the side of the freeway quicker when they see you behind it, pushing it yourself. Like, forget it. I got one-on-one, man. I'm pushing it. Then you just sitting in the car. Man, I hope somebody stop. Man, I need some help. You're probably going to get more help if you start doing something on your own. And that's one thing that I have noticed. It might be hard work. It's going to be sweat. You might be irritated. You might was going on almost to a special event, and now you got to get dirty and jump out the car. But I'm telling you, family, if you start doing something yourself and stop waiting on others, the door is going to be open. You know what I mean? A lot of times, like I say, I was waiting on people, even though I was paying people, and I just said, forget it, I'm finna do what I can do. And those who want to come in, they can come in. And I got more done once I started doing it. So, if it means something to you, you gonna have to do something about it. Let me see what you said, family. Salute, 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 salute. Thanks for checking in, sis. Thanks for checking in. And like I say, I just wanted to talk about this because I feel that a lot of times people see a person at this level and they see a person at this level, and you don't really know none of this in between. And I don't have no problem sharing my story. I don't have no problem with being transparent because I'm knowing that me being transparent might open up a door, or open up a light, or motivate or help someone else. And I don't want to be selfish with my life. That's why I blog. That's why I share certain things. And certain things you don't want to go completely in depth. You don't want to incriminate yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you do want to give enough information where a person can know this is organic. You know what I mean? And working on this house has been very challenging. But I know without a shadow of a doubt, my mom has been smiling the whole time. You know what I mean? I know she's been smiling the whole time. Even when I got frustrated, and that bathroom frustrated me working on it by myself because I really needed some help in certain things, and the guys I was trying to pay to come and nobody show up. So it worked out, but it was a headache. But you know how they say, two hands are always better than one, family. Two hands are always better than one. So I wanted to reveal this story to you because if it wasn't for my mom, like I say, I'd have did way more time in prison than what I did. So not only did she sacrifice her first house, in whatever manner to help me, get this time cut, and then she actually, built another foundation so that we can always have something. And I just couldn't see that going to waste. And people say, man, ain't nothing over there, man. Selling to get some paper, move over here. But you know what? There's not a lot around here, but it's not a dead community. And I believe, one thing I know about life, when you can jump in your vehicle and you can skate and go this place and that place, and then when it's all said and done, you can come back to your little hole in the wall. Sometimes you appreciate your little hole in the wall, you know what I'm saying? For moving around and traveling, because I like to travel. I don't like to move though. I'll say that's a different thing. So, I like having, our goal is to restore this, get the RV jumping and going, and then start traveling, visiting some areas, visiting some people, helping some communities with some independent welding, like literally coming to some areas mobily. I got some mad goals with some shipping containers this year. So I'm I always say it's hard to jump. One thing I have learned, because I have did it too many times, spread myself too thin. So before I jump out and get another major project started, I like to finish up the one I was working on, because sometimes it can add more stress and more things can come from different areas. And to me personally, it's easier for me to tackle one big thing at a time. I try to do several things, and when you're using all your own finances, when you invest in time, work it can get overwhelming. So I'm gonna knock this project out, get it, where I like it, and then we're gonna be working on this other one. Even though I'm already making preparation now, but I got a few good ideas for shipping containers. So stay in tune on that. Um, my goal is to do some great things and network with some of my people with doing them, like building some. And then I got some renovation projects, like I say, hopefully gonna pop up soon. So it's a few things I got lined out. Hopefully everything will work out soon. Like I say, I just wanted to come live and talk about this because a lot of people didn't know the true story behind it. And for those who don't know my mom name, I want to state her name for the record. My mom name is Mary Catherine Oates Brown, and everyone called her Kat, K-A-T. So rest in love to my mom. Like I say, she passed at 51 years old, and it was young. It was young, but I felt like she said it. to a couple of my cousins, and I'm okay with it. She was ready. She told a couple of them that, what the things that was going on in her life, her health, her, just she was at a point in her life where she was just tired of suffering, just tired. And I don't want, I don't want to get to the point where I'm like that, but I know life can beat a person down where you feel like that, where you almost give up hope and just like, it even say in the scriptures, it says, woe to a broken spirit. There's no one that can help you once you're broken, once you give up. So, my mom, I believe she could have lived a lot longer, but she was tired and she gave up. And God took her the way she asked. Because I remember her telling me that when she seen my grandfather pass in his sleep, she told me he had a smile on his face. And it looked peaceful. Because she thought he was still alive. She was going in to give him his medicine. And she said, when I seen that, I prayed and I asked God, when it's my time, take me like that. And family, I can't lie to you, it's humbling to think about it now because my mom was in the hospital for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and they told us that she wasn't gonna make it out. And we prayed and they just say, get the family together, y'all, come see her. It ain't looking good. And we thought my mom wasn't gonna make it out the hospital. Well, my mom instantly was healed. They looked at her lungs. They couldn't even explain. It was like, I don't know. She came back. Family, when I tell you she came back, she was 100% my mom again. You know what I mean? She came home. She lived for about, I think, a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then she died in her home. So she refused to die in the hospital. She wanted to die at her house in her bed, and that was very humbling. You know what I mean? So, being here is always a constant reminder of survival for me, of where I came from, of what can happen if you give up, what can happen if you don't give up. You know what I mean? And one thing I can say, family, if you're going to do anything great with your life, if you're going to achieve something, you have to make up your mind and have tunnel vision where you zone out and don't worry about what someone else is saying. If someone else is helping you, kill your expectations. Sometimes having great expectations can cause us to be slow in our process because we'll be expecting so much out of someone else where we won't be doing what we need to be doing because we be expecting. And now we hurt. And now we put energy and time into anger. I learned just to kill expectations. I don't even expect the person to, I expect the person to be them. You show me I can read character, so I can kind of tell, I say, okay, I can read the character, and if you get me, I can sit back and say, hey, you got me on that one. But I kind of, I allow people to be who they are. I trust people to tell me who they are because a lot of times people don't know character. So, actions always speak louder than words. So this house renovation has been humbling, but like I say, I'm still on it. Still got some work to do. I say I'm about 90% done. But it has been trial and error, but I'm most definitely happy that I've been saving it. And it's important to me to save it. It's important to me to maintain it and keep it up. Right now, I'm 41 years old and I'll be 42 in March the 29th. So hopefully I'll be able to, I don't know if I'm gonna do my birthday here. I was wondering if I was gonna throw a birthday party down south or, leave and go visit somewhere. I don't know. I'm still in between, but I'm gonna figure it out by the beginning because that way I can get some people, some notices. I got a few people like, hey man, you gonna do something for your birthday? But I probably will this year, most definitely. I didn't last year, but I probably will this year. So just wanted to say, man, I just wanted to share that story, give you some updates on Mom's house. We are in McGehee, Arkansas, which they actually call it McGehee. McGehee, Arkansas is where I'm at. And like I say, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's about 5,000 people, it's not bad surrounding DeShay County, you know what I mean? But I'm humble, you know what I mean? Like I say, I was born in Little Rock and I was raised down here and in Denver and Montbello. So when I came back down here all the time, it was always fun because I had a lot of cousins, a lot of family. Growing up, family was everything. Like family was everything, and we didn't even know we was doing as bad as we was doing. Cause you was just, to me, the love was different. Maybe the love is different when you don't know no better. When you haven't experienced life, you're not paying bills, you're not doing that. But your family, they looking at things a whole lot different. But when you are adolescent, you young, you're not looking at that. You don't even know that you're doing as bad as you are. You realize some Christmases, which a lot of them, you didn't get nothing, or it was just a few things, or it was some donations or something, you know what I mean? Or mom said, hey, I'm gonna make up for it, but you don't really know you're doing bad, you know what I mean? So I'm humbled to be here, humbled to have the opportunity to work on my mom's house. And like I said, I just wanted to come in live and just talk about it, just kind of share the story, and hope some of the information in the story can actually inspire someone, help someone, and just like I say, don't sell your inherited property for paper. I do want to say that because once you spend it, it's gone, family. They are not making no land no more. You know what I mean? So if you can get you a small piece somewhere, affordable price, I don't care where is it. Get you some. You know what I'm saying? And the real estate is most definitely something that we overlook. We don't know a lot about, but we can learn, and we can be able to invest in different programs and people that actually got things going to help other properties if that's what you into, instead of you actually physically doing it yourself. But I enjoy the work. I enjoy physically working. I enjoy physically building and creating things. I enjoy it. I enjoy educating. So that's why, I tend to do what I do. And I want to be able to make it a headquarters down here. So, my goal is to do my own thing, to open up my own way down here. But I know it can be done. But I am in a good old boy state. I am in a good old boy place where, majority of people here, is kind of unheard of to see someone do the things that I do and what I'm doing as a African American. It is what it is. It's kind of unheard of. It's kind of like, you sure you doing it? Is it right? And even then, even if you got valuable information, I have someone even say, but you're teaching out the garage though. What does it matter? You know what I'm saying? What do you want? So you want to pay more? So you willing to pay me 2-3 more thousand extra if I teach you in a nice building? It's the same education. So sometimes you got to start somewhere, but being in small areas, people going to question, everything. But like I say, I don't worry about people. I don't worry about the expectations anymore. I've been there. I've expected. I've been let down, and I realize that expectations can just slow up the process. So even though it is something hard to, because certain things, certain people, your spouse, certain friends, you expect, but I learned to not expect. I'm just grateful for those who help out. They help out, but I don't expect my wife to do anything. I expect her to be her. We got an agreement, but I still don't expect. I expect her to uphold her part of the agreement, I guess, but I don't put high expectations on her. At one time I did, and it just frustrated her because she's not me. We was doing business, and I wanted to do this and that, and you have to realize that everybody got their roles. So allow a person to be who they are in your life, instead of you trying to create them into something you want them to be. That's something I had to learn too, family. So being here, I think I had to grow up. I went through a whole lot as a man, change and humbling to be here. So to be here and to do what I'm doing now, it's just humbling to know what I know, and I know things going to get better over time. And all I can do is just stay focused and keep working on things. But just wanted to say, man, this is my mom's house. I'm humbling that things are going the way they're going. I still got some things to do, but it is most definitely coming along, family. It's most definitely coming along. Like I say, I'm still working on it. I'm gonna let y'all check out a few things before I let you go. I want to do like a little walk around to kind of show you, some of the things that I've been working on. But I have been working on the house for a minute now, so I'm gonna take it around. I'm actually in the kitchen, but this is the kitchen area. For those who've seen it when I first started, it was like, woo! I'm still working on it. Almost done. Almost done. Actually, washer and dryer, you know, is back here. So, like I say, this is the area where I'm putting the kitchen table. I actually just got a little small table sitting here now, but the kitchen table will be here. And then, you know, the solid bar for the microwave, the front door. And most people seen this part because it was like bad in this living room area, but I put new ceiling fans in there, you know, and I try to do everything energy efficient too, by the way. I built this design. I actually seen this and I loved it. And I figured out how to design it. And this was actually my first one I ever built. But this is one of those things where you have to think outside the box. And I know my mom always liked the TV. She always liked the nice things. So I'm like, man, I need to put something in there to really set the house off. So when you walk in the front door, you know what I mean? This is the first thing you see. Bam. And then, you know, I did the two wall. I did I wanted to do the white and the bottom, so the two-tone. And then I put a border around it to kind of make it look cool. And then I did the same thing. But I didn't two-tone all the rooms. I two-toned actually the biggest room, which I say the master bedroom, I call it master bedroom, the biggest room. I two-toned it, but the rest of them was solid with white trimming. And like I say, it turned out good. Still had some stuff to do. This is my baby girl up here. This is my oldest daughter. I got to get some more pictures, but this is one picture that she made for my wife for her birthday, I believe. So she liked this picture the way she did it. So she got everybody's name on there, and this is my baby girl. But like I say, this is actually my mom's room. Still working on this room. I actually got stuff in it, but this is the room that my mom actually passed in. I got my kennel in here. And like I say, I'm still working on this. Is where I got everything at. This is the last room. I'll be falling back, coming in, getting the flooring. You know what I mean? I got some flooring down here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I got some flooring down here, coming in, getting stuff. I got a lot of stuff, paint. You know, I still got trimming to do. You know, some more stuff to do. So I've been using this to do stuff and put my tools and all that stuff in the house. So it's been cool. And most people have seen the bathroom, and I had to completely. This bathroom kicked my butt, family. I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, I had to completely redo this bathroom, and I did everything. I put a new hole surrounding it. I had to redo the whole thing. So, you know, it was a cool project, and you know, out of all the doors in the house, this was one of the doors I kept because it was actually a good door. The rest of them I had to throw them away, but this door right here was good. So I just painted it and just put it back in there, and it had a nice size pantry. You know, look at all that room, man. It's a lot of room in that thing. It even go all the way down to the floor. So this bathroom was a lot wider than what, you know, longer than what I thought. And then we two-toned it, and we two-toned the bathroom. And then this was my mom's room at the back. She stayed in this room for a while, but now we use this room as the laundry room. I throw laundry in here. You know, we'll do the clothes, but it's got the spare bedroom, so when someone comes, they'll stay actually here right now. Spend the night in this room. This be the spare bedroom. But you see, we did the solid walls in here. You know what I mean? And it turned out good, though. You know, we did the carpet. And then we did carpet in the rooms. You know what I mean? I got some good padding, did the good carpet in the rooms, and then we did the flooring. I got the laminate flooring, but I got I think it's 9x4 sheets, and it's waterproof, and they got the padding under it and everything, so it ain't like the regular thin. You know, you got that real thin stuff. Nah, it ain't the real thin stuff. So we've been working on a few things. Like I say, this room was actually two-tone. This is our room. This one actually two-tone. You know what I mean? Still, like I say, man, we still been doing a few things to the room. You know, still working on it. But this is like the big. But you know what? In these houses, they actually got the water heater, which is in this room too, which I turned into electric water heater. Had a gas water heater. And why they have the water heater in the bedroom in these models, I don't even know. Most of them, they have a water heater in a room by itself. You know what I mean? But like I say, this is pretty much it. Like I say, I still been working on it, but it's coming on. Just wanted to give y'all some updates of it. You know, I have been really working on it. I wanted to really do something different. Still got a few things to do, but it is most definitely coming, family. I know mom will be proud to see it. You know what I mean? So I'm happy. I'm happy for it. You know what I mean? It's most definitely coming on along. And then, oh, the last section. Then we got the garage. You know what I mean? Like I say, it was a big plus because I can kill several birds in one stone out here. You know, so when we come, you know, from teaching classes, my setup, you know, where we got videos that we have to watch. And I think it's good because a lot of times when you watch certain videos and you read certain educational information and then you jump into the booth and start working, it helps everything kind of come together. It clicks together a little bit faster to me. So, like I say, I built all of this. This actually was existing, but I put up this wall. So I got some more stuff that I'm doing now, which I'm about to put something over here. I think I'm gonna have another shelf over here for tools and stuff. That'll be tall right there. But like I say, this is my lay down area. You know what I mean? And still got to put my motor up here. I haven't did that, but I got my deal, so it's easier to pull up. But I'm gonna throw a motor up here, so that way I can just hit the button. But like I say, it's pretty cool. I insulated to be a lot more than cooler than just having it without it. So it does feel pretty decent in here. But like I say, I got everything lined up. And then in this room, I'm actually gonna have it into. Right now, I just got storage. I got my bikes in there. Got some extra stuff that I had from renovating the house, but pretty much getting everything together. Like I say, I've been building up my stuff, getting up, you know, so I can finish everything down. But this is most definitely, like I say, a good setup. Like I say, this is a good setup. This is the room. It's pretty big too. Got like a little room in here. I can't really see it, but it got a little room in here. So nice size. So my goal is to clean it out once I finish with all this extra stuff, and then I can turn this into a room in here, an office in here too, so I can be out here and have a door where I can see through, and I can be in there doing some stuff. So when somebody's doing something, I can be in here and I can come up and I can actually watch them. So I'm gonna have a booth here, and then I'm actually gonna have one more booth here. So I'm gonna actually have two booths at the house. So when it's all set, right now I got one posted up, but I will have two standard ones here. Both of them either do MIG or stick. I do a lot of MIG, stick, float score, and TIG, and with majority MIG, stick, and float score. So like I say, it's been coming on along, family. It's been challenging, but it is coming. So I'm gonna open this up real quick and let you know it do work. But it is most definitely coming on. It's a little cool out here right now. But it's most definitely coming on, family. It was terrible when you first seen it, but now it's coming. That's my old truck, my HogOn mobile. But it's coming on along. Like I say, even I built my gates on the side. Both of those I built. I built one on both sides, and then I got one around here on the side. Let's walk back here. So I'm showing you the house. And I'm working on the back piece back here. I already opened up my fence. I got my things set up, so it's gonna be nice. It's a nice size yard. Say, got my welding skids and stuff over here, so you know, I can't complain, family. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done, it's gonna be cool. And like I say, it's not in a bad area. It's not in a bad area. We're gonna go out here a little bit. Hopefully, don't have no interference. But if you look right down the street right here, that's the elementary school right there. That's the elementary school from K through 6th grade. So I think it's a good area. Kids can straight walk to school, you know, or if they visiting or whatever. But it's not a bad spot. So I'm happy and I'm humble, man, that mom put this together and I'm able to keep it going. You know what I mean? So I'm humble. I am humble, family. But before I let y'all go, like I said, I just want to give you a look, walk around, let you know how things been going. We check in, see what you said before I let y'all go. Yes, you always gotta have that home base. And you know what? She always wanted me to come home, family. My mom always wanted me to come home. But I never came. Never came back home. 27 years later, I am home. 27 years later, I'm back in my hometown. So, you know, it's humbling, but she always wanted me to come back, and working on it is a blessing. So I'm humbled and thankful. Like I say, man, I appreciate everybody from checking in. Didn't really mean to make the video that long. Hold on, let me see if I missed something. Something just popped up. Didn't really mean to make the video that long, but just wanted to kind of talk about it, and hold a conversation with y'all. So I appreciate those who checked in and threw some comments out there. Like I say, my goal is just to, just share my experiences. Hopefully everybody be blessed, continues to prosper, be safe out there. The weather is switching up, so if you're in Arkansas, be safe, because one day you're wearing a t-shirt, the next day you got a triple fat goose on. It is real. So be safe out there, man. Be blessed. Like I say, I'm humbled. I'm here. Like I say, I'm still working on Mama's house, but that is the true story behind it, and why I'm still here, and why it means so much to me. So y'all be blessed. Continues to prosper. Hold on.